Hey there, it's your friend Jerry Tolliver here, CEO of Flyy Credit. And I just wanted to drop by here today because I want to highlight another student of the month of February of 2021. Now, this student has actually been one of our longest standing students in the university. In fact, there's probably one other person that's been in the university longer than her. But if he ever decides that he does not want to be a part of this amazing community, she's going to take that top spot. But Gemma has been an amazing student. Gemma shows up to the huddles. Gemma shows encouragement and willingness to be better. And she spreads that energy to other people in the university. And I really wanted to be able to bring her here to share her story, her experiences, and her amazing testimony. I mean, her story alone has been amazing to develop and hear. And I want to be able to share that with you today. So I've recorded our interview, and I really do hope that you enjoy what she has to say. So go ahead, check out the interview, and enjoy. So help our viewers understand your journey from where you were before to where you are now.
Where do I begin?
Start where you came here from. Where did you come from?
From Guyana. I came here back in 1994 as an international student. And one of the first things that stood out to me that I remember was my aunt telling me that when she first came, her friend told her, credit is king in America. So if you want to do anything, you need good credit. So she told me that, and I'm like, oh, credit, interesting. I want to get some credit too. So, when you're in college, they bombard you with all these credit cards. And one of my friends in school, she was like, oh yeah, you just make up your salary, make like you make more money than you really make. So I put an application and kind of stretch the income, and I got it. And I got approved for my first credit card. Actually, my first credit card was an AT&T Universal card.
Wow.
Yes, I wish I still had that card. I canceled it. Anyway, so that was my first credit card. And then after that, I wanted when I first came, I came with money to pay my tuition for the time that I'm here. And I don't want to keep the money under the mattress. So I went to open a bank account. First, I went to, back then it was called Chemical. Chase was Chemical Bank.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So I went there to open a bank account, and they said, I need proof of address. So I said, I don't live here. I just got here. I live with someone. None of the utilities are going to be in my name. They said, well, sorry, we can't give you an account. So I went across the street to Citibank, and they said, oh, no problem. It doesn't matter. Somebody else's name is on the utility bill, but you can use it. And fortunately, I had the bill in my purse because I usually go pay the bills for my aunt. So I had the phone bill, and I gave it to them, and they opened an account for me. So I guess I put a good amount of money in the bank account. Right. College tuition, right? So then they offered me a credit card, but maybe a month or two. They sent me something, oh, you could get a credit card. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. So I applied. So Citibank was my second credit card. Wow. I still have that card.
You were getting the good cards. Y'all, when I first started applying for credit, I was getting the crappy ones with all the retail cards, and then I screwed it up. I wasn't
So that's how I started with my credit cards, and I was pretty responsible with them. I made sure, one thing that I remember my aunt saying, her friend told her, even if you make only the minimum payment, do not miss a payment.
Oh, that's such great advice. Have you ever missed a payment?
I did later, but not a lot.
Right.
And it wasn't intentional. The times that in the life of my credit history, I might have missed maybe 2 or 3 credit card payments by mistake. I forgot or something.
That's happened to me too. That's why that's why I always tell you, I was put everything on auto pay so that you don't forget it. But
they didn't have that back in the day.
True.
They have that now.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Wow. So I was just telling that Gemma has been with us for like 9 months now. You've been with us for quite some time now. And I thought it was like a fascinating, because just having someone committed to coming, like you come to every huddle, you're involved, you're giving good information, you're giving tips, you're sharing your experiences. And I think it's just amazing. Like, you had went on that credit card shopping spree, and we was like, we have to stop applying for credit.
I feel like I'm addicted to credit cards. My friends joke around and say, we need Credit Card Anonymous for you. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I need to stop.
I need to go to that class too. So funny. Wow. It's been incredible to see your growth. It's been incredible to just see everything that you've been doing. Tell our viewers about what kind of business you're going to start.
Oh, no. So I already started. I have a construction business, home improvement, because, like, I don't know, the idea of doing that just came from, like, I always thought that you cannot get wealthy with a 9-to-5. Like, you need your own business.
Yes.
And again, where I come from in Guyana, we had businesses. Like, I had a job just because I wanted to have a job. But my parents had a business. They had hotels. So I was used to that business life,
Wow. That's great.
So I always knew that I wanted to do something. So at one point, like a few years ago, when my husband got laid off from his job, and we had just had our last child, who's now 12 years old. So he started, like, he's been working on that job for like over 20 years. And to like go find a new job was kind of difficult.
Right.
So he started just going with like someone that he knew doing like some work, doing home improvement type work. And I said to him, I was like, why don't you start a business? Why don't we make this a business? Like, we could do this. And he kept putting it off. I'm like, just go get the license. He wasn't doing it. He was like, yes, I'm going to go. And he never went. And then I went to this leadership program that I attended at Momentum. And they were talking about, I met this guy. He was like, actually, they ask you like something that you dream about doing. And I was like, oh, I'm dreaming about opening a business, and I'm thinking about construction. And he was like, oh, they have great things for like women. If in this field, you get a lot of opportunities. So I said, oh, okay. And they kind of like pushed me to go take the exam. And I just went and took the exam. Didn't have any idea. I'm like, these people are going to ask me about some codes and stuff that I don't know. But you know what? Let me just see what this exam looked like. It was nothing like that, actually. It was more about business stuff, like knowing what is a contract and things like that. So when I saw that, I'm like, so I aced that exam.
Right. Wow.
And I got the license. And I was like, oh, great. So now I got the license, now what? Let me go do the incorporation. So I did the incorporated thing. I did all of that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, you got to get insurance, workers' comp. This is expensive. I have no money.
All the steps.
I followed all the steps, and I did everything. So now we're trying to like build a business. So it's like we're getting like little jobs. So hopefully soon we can get bigger jobs. Then we can employ people and have, give back like that.
That is so amazing. Like, it's so heartwarming, I guess, because, coming from a family of entrepreneurs yourself, being able to be exposed to that kind of knowledge, understanding of business and how to grow it that's just what it's all about, right? Having that kind of information and being able to pass it down to your son and your children is what it's about. Wow.
That's what I do. I teach them a lot. Like I tell you, like my oldest son, he just graduated from college. And since he was in high school, I'm like, you're going to learn how to build with credit. As soon as he got to college, you go apply for a credit card. He applied for American Express and he got approved.
Wow.
And then he applied for Discover and he got approved. So he had those. And I'm just like, yes, you keep your credit. So he said, Mom, I'll be teaching my friends in college about credit. And they said, oh, credit cards get you in trouble. And he goes, that's not what my mother said.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
just trying to pass the knowledge on. Whoever want to listen, I'm willing to share.
That is so good. So tell us, what's the number one thing that you feel you learned in the university that you've been able to implement and have success with?
I would say like being consistent.
Oh, that's good. I like that
Yeah.
answer actually, because most people, they come to the university and they're, not really sure how to use their credit or where to start. But seeing as you already came from a background of having at least a understanding of it, where to start, how to pay it, and, all the basics already down, it was just kind of growing upon that understanding. And so the fact that you just said, well, I just needed some consistency is just like, oh, that's good, because you
Yeah.
every single huddle. So for people that don't know what the huddle is a biweekly coaching call, accountability call that we do every 2 weeks with all of our university members. And we hash out questions, share stories, successes. It's really like one big happy little Flyy Credit family. And it's that dose of accountability that I feel we all really need when we want to be successful. Because I think it's easier to say you want something than it is to actually do it. But you all show up and you do it. You show up, you share your stories, you give advice. And I just think it's amazing to be able to have that kind of energy in the community and the university. It's been pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's why I like to show up I show up every other week when we have the huddle, because sometimes I know people, they think that the credit is going to happen overnight, and it's not. It doesn't happen overnight. But I feel like it's useful when people can hear and see other people who've been there and were able to accomplish things, and say, if this person can do it, then there's hope for me. And
Yeah.
that's why I show up a
Thank
lot.
you.
Someone is gonna get something from this, or they'll ask a question that I might have the answer.
Yeah.
And
I
so
love
yeah.
that. Oh man, I love that so much, because that's exactly what it's about. It's about holding each other accountable, encouraging one another, and helping people realize that it may not happen for you today, tomorrow, maybe not even next month or next year, but it'll happen for you eventually if you keep trying, as long as you keep doing the right things and, taking the right steps. So I love that. It's just like, it just makes me feel good, because that's exactly what it's about. That's exactly what my idea of the huddle and the community that we have now, that's exactly what my idea was. Like, not just me
Yeah.
being the teacher, but now you, Monique, Christian, like all you all have kind of taken on a teacher role in a university in a way, and just sharing your stories and encouraging each other has been really nice to see.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of keep drawing me in. Like when I see what you talk about in your vision and the way that you try to educate people, and that that's powerful, and I like that. So I'm like, this is somebody's team that I want to be on. Like the whole giving back and the whole all of that stuff. I think it's awesome. And that's how you got me.
Thank you. Welcome. I appreciate having you. Well, I really appreciate the fact that you dropped by here today and shared some of your story with everybody. Is there any, one last thing you want to say before we wrap this up?
Just keep doing what you're doing, touching as many lives as you can, because you never know who's listening and who can get, some of the good nuggets that you drop here and there.
Thank you.
And it's not going to get to everyone, but it will get to people. And that's a good thing. Just keep doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm always trying, and you're right. Some people get it, some people don't, but I focus on the people that get it. Let's do that, right?
Yep.
Well, thank you, Gemma. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. I think Raven sent you your gift. Did she send you your gift yet?
She did.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to wrap up Student of the Month. Congratulations again. We're going to be recording this and posting this in the university. So I'll get the rest of the edits in, and then everyone will be able to enjoy your beautiful story.
Oh,
Thanks, Gemma.
thank you.
You have a great rest of your day, okay?
You too.
Have
See
a
you in
great
the next huddle.
All righty. Thank y'all for joining. I'll see y'all next time.
Bye.